I'm Mike the Movie Man, and I have a Mega Movie plan. Today, I'm back with another Mega Movie News Roundup for y'all. Yeehaw! This is a segment on the channel where I cover the 5 most important Mega Movie News stories to come out this week. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm going to be going over my reaction to the Thor Love and Thunder trailer. Also, the news that there might be a new Tom Holland Spider-Man movie in the works. And then, of course, talking about the streaming release date for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and a whole lot more. So you're going to want to stick around throughout the entire video to get all those great mega movie news stories. Also, if I forget any movie news story, go ahead and email me at megamikethemovieman@gmail.com. It's completely free. Just let me know your name and the topic you would like me to cover in a future movie news episode, and I will definitely give you a shout out. But without further ado, let's get started. Now to get into my first mega movie news story, and we gotta talk about the new Thor Love and Thunder trailer. Before we only had a little teaser, but we actually get an official trailer now. So I was pretty hyped to click play on the trailer, and wow, this trailer is kind of a mixed bag for me. There's definitely some fun moments in here and a lot of components I like, so I'll definitely mention those. I really like Korg at the beginning being the narrator storyteller. I think that's a fun way to kind of introduce this movie, so I'm sure that's towards the beginning of the movie. But it's basically just explaining, yeah, this is what Thor's been doing, and it goes through a montage of Thor then getting in shape, which I think could be a really cool moment in the movie. They do it like a Rocky montage, and then you see that Thor is now all buffed out. So that works good as an opening. But then you apparently see there's Jane there that is now like the new Thor or the mighty Thor or however you want to say it. But then the bad cringy moment happens in the trailer where Thor, as the Thor we know, Hemsworth sees Jane and is like, Jane? Yes, everybody knows that is the cringiest moment of the trailer. Wow, yeah, it feels very Scooby-Doo-ish. I know it's been mentioned before, but I had to mention it again. That, yeah, that was the one moment in the trailer that was kind of like weird and out of place. And I'm just like, ooh, very cringy, very like overly top. Just, I hope that was just a trailer moment and they ended up cutting that out of the movie. And I'm sure that scene won't be in the movie. At least I hope it's not, or if it's still in the movie, maybe as we see it in context with the other scenes that build up to it, it'll make a lot more sense and be more entertaining in the movie itself. But right now, just kind of being out of place felt really out of place. It was just like, okay, Jane? Like, okay, no. And the helmet looked really weird too. It was like it was a helmet that didn't look like it fit the shape of Hemsworth's face. Like, I don't know, it was just really weird looking too. So with the odd line, with the odd looking helmet, just didn't work for me, that one little moment. But then of course we get some more moments in there, and it's kind of showing off the whimsical fantasy aspects of the movie. So it looks like it's gonna still have that Taika Waititi flavor in here, very similar to Thor Ragnarok. You can tell that was a Taika Waititi movie, and it looks like this movie is gonna have a similar whimsical tone, with a lot of great action but a lot of comedic moments as well. So that works perfectly. And so it looks like we're going to get, Gore the God Butcherer here. And you got Gore played by Christian Bale. And I think this was a really cool moment in the trailer because, oh my goodness, Gore looks terrifying. So I think this is a good villain for our Chris Hemsworth Thor to go up against. I think this is a different villain we haven't seen before. Obviously, it's a villain that's saying he wants to go after all the gods, take all of them out. And so, to me, looks really cool. And I like the design they went with. Yeah, it's different than the comics. But once again, not a lot of people have read the comics, so they probably won't even know the difference anyway. But at least with this look to Gore, you can actually see Christian Bale really shine through. And I can see really, okay, we're going to get some good acting from Christian Bale here. So I'm glad they went with it so we can see more of the facial expressions and things like that a little bit more naturally. And so I think this is a good villain, and I thought it was kind of interesting, like when they go into certain battle sequences, it becomes black and white with a Gore being there. And so I thought that was interesting. I wonder if that's just a stylistic, like artistic choice. to kind of convey a certain message when like Gore, the God Butcher, is fighting that hey, it's black and white fight, you know. I wonder if that's what it is, or if there's actually something to it where it does kind of alter reality and it does become black and white for some reason. They'll have to, maybe we'll get more context when we see the movie what the meaning of that is. But I thought that was cool. That looked kind of different, something we haven't really seen before. And so overall, it looks like a fun movie. You got, the pirate ship with like the flying space goat things. That looks really cool. You can see that Thor and Jane are looks like they're rekindling a romance there. At least Thor, Hemsworth Thor, is really interested in Jane again because he's saying, "Oh yeah, it's been this many days since I've seen you." And I don't know, I don't feel like Jane's too much into him at the moment, but maybe throughout the movie, she gets more into him. But you can tell Hemsworth Thor is definitely into Lady Thor here, absolutely from the very beginnings of this trailer. And so, yeah, I think that romance relationship will be a big focal point of the movie because it's, Thor, Love, and Thunder. So that makes sense there. But I'm really excited to see just the action sequences in this movie. I think this is going to have some of the best sequences we've seen because you basically got, once again, you got Gore the God Butcherer hunting down all the gods. I don't know how long that's going to take in the movie. I don't know if that's just going to be beginning sequences or if it's throughout the entire movie and then he gets to Thor eventually. But that can be some cool sequences there. We know we do get basically Mount Olympus with the Greek gods because we got Zeus there, played by Russell Crowe, which I'm really excited about. I always like to see Russell Crowe acting. I think he'd be a really good Zeus there. And so, yes, I'm excited for that initial premise. It kind of reminds me of the God of War series where like Kratos was hunting down the Greek gods. So basically, Gore the God Butcherer is like the Kratos in here. So that's pretty interesting. And so I hope there's some really good, fun fight sequences in here. I know there's going to be comedy because we saw that comedic scene towards the end where Zeus wants to reveal, the identity of Thor. So he flicks and then, whoo, all the clothes fly off. And Thor is like, oh, you flicked too hard. And then everybody is all fainting there and like, oh, look at the miraculous Thor. It's just too much for our eyes to take. Because, yeah, Thor definitely looks buffed up in here. He looks like a true legit bodybuilder here. So that's impressive. I think this is probably the most built Hemsworth has ever been. I mean, he's always been in great shape, but this is a whole new level. And so that's awesome. So, yeah, so I hope this makes for just great comedic moments. I hope we get awesome action sequences in here. I hope we get that Taika Waititi just style and flavor. It's a fun ride of a movie, and apparently the movie is a couple hours long, so it's not going to overstay its welcome. I think we're going to get right into it because we do have a lot of characters to go through as well. So I feel like it's going to be very similar to the pace of probably Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. You get right into it pretty quickly, and then you're on this journey with these characters. And King Valkyrie is looking great in the movie as well. And so, yeah, you got a lot of characters here that we've mentioned so far. So I'm pretty hyped up for this movie. I think this movie is now my most anticipated movie of the year now. We've already seen a lot of great movies so far. So for movies to come out for the rest of the year, to me, Thor: Love and Thunder is definitely probably my number one most anticipated movie I'm most excited for, mainly because we got Taika Waititi once again leading this movie, and to me, Taika Waititi has never done us wrong yet, so really excited for this one. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the Thor: Love and Thunder trailer? What were the moments you really enjoyed? What were some of those cringy moments you didn't like so much? And what is your excitement level now and expectations overall for this movie? Let's have those movie discussions down below. Now to get into our second mega movie news story, and we gotta have a spoiler warning in effect here. If you have not seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness yet, you can just skip to the next movie news story, because we will be mentioning one cameo here that we did see on the Illuminati in the movie. So if you care to keep that a secret, then skip to the next story, or if you don't really care, and I'm sure most of it has been leaked out there anyway, let's continue into the second movie news story here. This is brought to us by the Direct article here. We have Disney Plus poll includes John Krasinski and Emily Blunt Fantastic Four movie art. Since Disney Plus purchased 20th Century Fox, and Marvel Studios' take on the Fantastic Four has been at the top of many fans' wish lists for the MCU. Fan castings, most of which include John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, have given the community a taste of what could come in that next iteration of Marvel's first family as the MCU's Fantastic Four movie moves further into development. Krasinski and Blunt are by far the most popular choice amongst fans and many media outlets to play the MCU's Reed Richards and Sue Storm, bringing in the real-life married couple as another MCU power couple. While Blunt has admitted she's not really into superhero movies anymore, Krasinski has already made his mark on the MCU by playing a multiversal variant of Reed Richards and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, one of the movie's biggest surprises. With the details behind casting and production for Fantastic Four being so up in the air, especially after John Watts left the director position, fan casting like the ones for Krasinski and Blunt remained prevalent in discussions about its release. Recently, they were even used in something interesting from a more official source as Marvel Studios works to bring the film to fruition. Alright, Krasinski and Blunt appear on Disney Plus poll. Cinema Blend managing editor Sean O'Connell shared a screenshot of a survey sent out to Disney Plus patrons by an outside company regarding upcoming MCU projects in theaters and on the streaming service. This included a section of Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four movie, which used a fan-made poster featuring John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Reed Richards and Sue Storm, respectively. The image of Krasinski, which is based on his appearance in Jack Ryan, looked drastically different from how he appeared in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, removing his beard and adding gray hair on his temples while giving him a different suit. Ooh, okay. So, it looks like this Disney Plus poll leaked out this information, I guess, too soon here, giving us that image of Krasinski. And so, wow, this could be very interesting here. While we already knew that Krasinski is most likely going to be our Fantastic Four Reed Richards because of the Multiverse of Madness movie. Yes, he was Reed Richards in there on the Illuminati. So, they're probably trying him out there, seeing what kind of fan reaction they got. Were people shocked by this? Were people excited about this? I think everybody was happy with that reveal. And so why not continue with Krasinski, playing Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie itself? I mean, to me, that's just a smart, logical progression of the character there. And also, once again, it shows which used a fan-made poster featuring John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. So this is a fan-made poster, though. Okay, so that's the one thing where it's like, okay, how legit is this if this is a fan-made poster? All right, we've seen plenty of fan-made posters. To me, maybe not as legit as we were initially thinking. But of course, everybody wants John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Now, Emily Blunt, we known before, has said she's not really into superhero movies. That's not her go-to genre of choice. But if you got her husband, John Krasinski, playing Reed Richards, then why wouldn't you have Emily Blunt there as Sue Storm, right? Being a powered MCU couple. To me, she's more likely to be in the movie if her husband's in the movie. So to me, that would make sense, them being together in the movie. So this is what the fans want. And, well, I would say a large majority of the fans, maybe not everybody, But because this leak happened here, I think this just gives us another extra step into, yeah, that's probably most likely going to happen. And maybe the leak was on purpose to see what the online community and fan response would be once again. So I think people are still excited about these two. So most likely, I think this is going to happen. So I'm pretty excited for this Fantastic Four movie, even though John Watts is no longer going to be the director. Remember, John Watts was the director of the Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy. He was supposed to be the director of the Fantastic Four movie, but he left that position to work on other projects. So, yeah, that was a little disappointment there, but you can always get another good director in there. And if we got two good leads here for the acting, it's just going to give us more to look forward to in the movie. So I'm pretty excited about this myself, but let me know if you're excited about this too. Do you still want Krasinski and Blunt to be Reed Richards and Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four movie? Or do you have some other casting options out there that you would like to see a little bit more? Let's have those discussions down below. Now to get into our third mega movie news story. And we gotta get this article here from the Direct. It says Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 receives promising update from Sony. So Spider-Man No Way Home delivered a powerful conclusion to the first trilogy of Tom Holland's Peter Parker, but signs indicate that there are more adventures to come from the young MCU hero. The threequel ended with Peter all alone after Doctor Strange's spell erases every memory of him to everyone he knows and loves. By the time of his next solo outing, Peter has a clean slate ahead of him. Former Sony executive Amy Pascal previously confirmed that the studio is already working with Marvel Studios on Spider-Man 4 within the MCU. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige later chimed in, saying that the producers are actively beginning to develop where the story heads for Spider-Man 4. This is good news for us fans right here. Let's see if we can get any more context here. Let's see. A previous report also unveiled that Sony Pictures and its Spider-Man producers have recently made it clear that they expect to work again with director John Watts, Tom Holland, and Zendaya to team back up again in order to continue the story of the MCU's web slinger. Ooh, okay, so that's really powerful right there. So they're getting the whole team back together. While talking about Sony's heaviest hitters in the movie business, Rothman shared a promising update about the follow-up to Spider-Man No Way Home, saying that they hope to get working on the next movie while also mentioning the two Spider-Verse sequels. When asked if No Way Home director John Watts, Tom Holland, and Zendaya would return in the fourth solo movie, the Sony boss revealed his hopes to see that the whole group would come back. Rothman also unveiled an update about Sony's Marvel Universe, describing them as films adjunct to the Spider-Man universe. Okay, so this is great news for us fans here that we're wanting a fourth Spider-Man movie, another Tom Holland movie. Yes, it looks like it's gonna get into development here. At least they're initially working on it. So this is great for us because we weren't 100% sure that they were gonna do a Spider-Man 4, that they were gonna do another Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. Because how the last one ended, it kind of left it where, yeah, they could continue it if they wanted to, or they could also close it, shut it down, and just have the trilogy of movies, and it would have still worked fine as a trilogy. So it ended in a way where it could have gone either way, so we weren't 100% sure there. But this gives us now confirmation that, yeah, they're working towards a Spider-Man 4 here, and they want to get the whole group back together. Because, of course, you need the whole group back together to do another Spider-Man 4. Of course, you need Tom Holland back. I'm glad they're bringing Zendaya back. They also want to bring the director back. That makes sense to me, so we have that continuous direction of the same tone of the other three movies. I would not like them to switch directors because that could change the whole flavor of the movie going forward. So maybe that's the reason why John Watts isn't doing that Fantastic Four movie, because he's now going to make another Spider-Man movie, something he's used to, something he's going to want to continue, and so that's why they have to get another director for the Fantastic Four movie. To me, that would make sense. So I'm glad to see the whole group back together to be working on this project. And I'm excited for Spider-Man 4. To me, the entire trilogy of Homecoming movies were really, really good. Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and No Way Home, to me, were all really, really good Spider-Man movies. Now, of course, Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movie, is still my favorite, but these movies are still really good. So I really like, I mean, the Spider-Man, Spider-Man movies to me just always have a special place in my heart. I've always enjoyed most of the Spider-Man movies. So really excited to hear that, hey, we are getting to work on a Spider-Man 4. And it looks like it's in the MCU that they're mentioning. So it's continuing it being connected to the MCU. So I want to see how the Spider-Man 4 ties into the other MCU movies, see what the connectivity is there. That to me would really, really be interesting. So I would love to get more updates on this movie. What's the story going to be? What's the plot there? What are the villains we're going to get in this new one? Hopefully, I'm still crossing my fingers for a Scorpion, because they kind of give us that hint and tease at the end of Homecoming for Scorpion, and then we never got Scorpion. What was that all about? I still don't get it. But hopefully we get Scorpion in this new movie. That would be so awesome. Of course, you got J. Jonah Jameson there now, and so that would be a good little way to set up that Scorpion villain. And so, yeah, think I'm pretty hyped up for a Spider-Man 4 movie. I'm glad that they're not just leaving it out of trilogy and then trying to find a new actor, do a whole new set of trilogy movies. No, the movies are working. Let's continue them. So, to me, this probably means we won't get an Amazing Spider-Man 3, probably won't get a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4, right? They're going to continue working with the MCU movies, which makes sense, right? They still want it all connected to the MCU, and if they did those other movies, maybe it would not connect so well. So I am a little sad that we aren't going to get those movies most likely, but I am happy that we're at least continuing the Tom Holland movies. But let me know in the comments below, are you excited for our Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland? Where do you think they go next with the story, plot, villains? Let's hear some of your ideas down below. Now to get into our fourth mega movie news story, we gotta talk about the Fast X movie even adding more talent still. Let's take a look at this article. This is brought to us by the Los Angeles Times. Headline reads, "The Fast and Fabulous Rita Moreno joins Fast X as Vin Diesel's grandmother." Alright, let's look at this. The Fast and Furious family just got a little bit bigger. Vin Diesel announced on Instagram that Rita Moreno will play his on-screen grandmother in the upcoming film Fast X. The action star, who portrays street racer Dom Toretto in the movie franchise, posted a celebratory video Tuesday featuring Moreno and Michelle Rodriguez, who plays his on-screen wife, Letty Ortiz. "So it's been my dream forever to work with Rita Moreno, and the fact that she's here playing my grandmother makes my soul smile," Diesel said in a clip. "I'm so blessed. I think my old age was waiting for you to invite me," Moreno said. "Isn't that nice? And I'm here, and the answer is yes, I'll do it. Not only do it, I'm tickled. I'm so thrilled. It's gonna be such fun." Alright, so the 90-year-old screen legend recently appeared in Steven Spielberg's Oscar-winning adaptation of West Side Story, 59 years after receiving an Academy Award for her dynamic performance as Anita in the original movie musical. The casting announcement comes about a month after Fast X director Justin Lin exited the highly anticipated sequel. Barely a week into production, Lin, who has directed more than half of the movies in the Fast saga, is still attached to the project as a producer, despite making the difficult decision to step back from the helm, he said in a statement. Alright, so yeah, we got more talent for this movie. We got Rita Moreno. Wow, definitely has been in acting quite some time. And so she is now going to be the grandmother. Yes, Diesel's grandmother in this new movie. Now, she isn't a whole lot older than Vin Diesel. I mean, really, she could play his mother in the movie. So, okay, we're going to go with grandmother here. Even though to me, the age difference is not that much. But okay, we'll go grandmother. Why not? But we got Rita Moreno here. It's always great to add talent, especially a legend like this who has been in a lot of movies and just is great overall, throughout the history of Hollywood. So awesome to add more talent. Can't go wrong with that. But now it does kind of concern me because it looks like this Fast X movie is still changing as they're already filming this movie. Like, why do you keep adding talent now? You know, it's like every other week we get an announcement, right? And they keep adding more and more to this movie. And are these ingredients going to mix together? Well, it looks like kind of too many cooks in the kitchen, you could say. Because, you know, we got Aquaman, right? Jason Momoa getting added to the movie. Then we heard the Captain Marvel actress joining the movie. Now we got Rita Moreno joining the movie. And so you got so many people keep getting added to this movie. Then you got people leaving, right? You got the director that left. So what is going on here? To me, this movie project feels very sloppily put together. Now it could turn out to be amazing. Maybe all this talent here is able to elevate the movie. But to me, shouldn't they have the story already ready to go? Why are they just now adding new characters into the story? To me, that does not sound planned out. It just sounds like, hey, you know, Vin Diesel, who would you like to add now? Let's add Rita Moreno. Why not? Family, everybody, part of the family. Let's have, you know, a big bonkers movie. Who cares about the story or whatnot, right? And that's kind of how Fast 9 felt to me. It started to go off the rails. It was just random things going on screen. And it felt like the story definitely wasn't a main focus there. So it feels like Fast X. It looks like, yeah, who cares about story now? Let's just go bonkers, throw in all this talent, crazy action sequences, and see what happens. People will still like watching it. So to me, it looks like that's not the style of movie I like to go to. You know, I'll still see it because I'm sure it'll look really cool on screen. So let me know in the comments below, are you excited that they added Moreno to this movie? Or do you think this movie is kind of getting overstuffed now and it seems like the story is just being put together so sloppily that it may not turn out the best? Let me know your thoughts down below. Now to get into our fifth mega movie news story, our final news story here, we got to talk about when Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness becomes available at home for us to enjoy. So let's take a look at this blog post here. Its headline reads, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness digital and Blu-ray release dates announced. Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness debuts on all major digital platforms on June 22nd and on Blu-ray on July 26th. So digital, you get it sooner, June 22nd if you want to get it. So that's going to be off of like iTunes, I believe, and digital platforms like that. But then for us physical media collectors, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer because that will be released July 26th. And then a Disney Plus release date has not been announced yet, but it is expected to launch on the streaming service on June 22nd. So that's going to match up with the digital platforms, both being June 22nd. So that would make sense. So if you have Disney Plus, you can already stream it off there June 22nd. You're good. If you don't have Disney Plus, but you still want to get it digitally, you still can get it on that same date, June 22nd. Or if you're a physical media collector like me and you want to wait till July 26th, then yeah, you got to wait a little bit more time, which to me kind of irritates me. I wonder why they always have the digital release sooner than the physical media release. If somebody can let me know why they do that in the comments below, I would appreciate it. But yeah, so for us physical media collectors, we've got to wait a little bit longer. But you know, for this one, I'm going to get the 4K Steelbook when that pre-order comes up on Best Buy. I'm going to go for that one because I want to collect all the superhero movies that I can in 4K Steelbook. So I've been doing that recently, trying to get that collection. So I want to continue with that, of course. And yeah, 4K Steelbook for the superhero movies have been getting better, especially with the ones we recently just got with like the Batman was really good, No Way Home was really good, had awesome special features. So hopefully this movie does get some good special features. I know some of the times the MCU movies lack a little bit in special features. Hopefully they've changed that and are going to add more to the physical media release of this one. So I'm excited about this because I've already seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness twice in theaters, but I want to see it at home, of course. I want to hear the awesome Dolby Atmos soundtrack and see the 4K quality on the 4K TV. I want to see, you know, how it looks visually because visually the movie is definitely stunning. A lot of great visual mystical action moments that I could see really just popping off the screen at home. So definitely can't wait for this release. So excited. And yeah, physical media collectors, we gotta wait a little bit longer till July 26th. So yeah, that's the one part I don't super get excited about. But I'm going to wait for that physical media release because I want that release so bad. But let me know in the comments below, are you going to be picking up this movie, or are you just going to be streaming it? Are you going to be getting the digital copy, or like me, are you waiting for that physical media release? If you're going to get the physical media copy, are you going to go Blu-ray? You're going to go 4K? You're going to go slipcover? You're going to go steelbook? What's going to be your option of choice? Let me know in the comments below. So that will do it for another Meg Movie News Roundup. This was episode 26. If you've missed some of my recent movie news episodes, definitely check more of those out in the playlist after this video ends, of course. Also, if you're just discovering the channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe right now. I'm going to get you movie news rounded up weekly, tons of movie reviews and rankings, also a lot of physical media topic videos, collection updates, unboxings, you name it. This is going to be your one-stop shop for all things movies, and I don't want you to miss any of it. So subscribe right now and turn on that notification bell so you know when I post a video.
You are. I take off your disguise. And flick. Oh, flick too hard, damn it!
And like the video. This is Mega Mike the Movie Man, reminding you to make every day a movie day.